Donald Trump's appointments continue to roll in, and we see that he is not draining the swamp. A lot of these appointments are DC insiders, they're billionaires, they're the same type of people that we always see in government. One of his appointments is especially terrifying, or supposed appointments. This guy is being looked at to head the Department of Homeland Security. And the guy is Sheriff David A. Clarke from Milwaukee. Now, we have talked about this guy a number of times.
Yeah.
And again, him being in charge of the Department of Homeland Security is downright scary. It's
based on the things that he says and his political positions. Yes, that's not the type of guy you want in power.
No, you don't want this guy to have more power
because he likes
to.
Yeah, because the thing is he likes to conflate his personal opinions, and he then somehow thinks he can apply those in legal actions.
Right.
I don't I disagree with him ideologically on a lot of different things.
Many.
He can people in power and people in certain positions can have their own opinions. Mm-hmm. But in Clarke's case, and not just Clarke, but since we're talking about specifically Clarke, mm-hmm. in his case, he likes to then transition that opinion into what he feels should be legal action against people.
Action.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Action. And I'm
even
like, that's scary.
Unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So Clarke, just for some history on this guy, he's a regular contributor on Fox News. Mm-hmm. No doubt. He has that conservative message. He lambastes Black Lives Matter all the time. He's gone so far as to say that police brutality does not exist, that it was ended back in the 60s.
There is no police brutality in America. We ended that back in the 60s.
He actually said these words. Police brutality doesn't exist. It ended back in the 60s. He has suggested through Twitter, he sent a tweet saying that before we know it, Black Lives Matter is going to be, where they're going to become one with ISIS.
Yeah, they're going to join
ISIS.
Forces with ISIS.
Yeah.
You see, and again, he's making very, very loose connections.
Yes.
ISIS has a problem with something America is doing, and then Black Lives Matter activists has a problem with something that's going on in America. Therefore, mm-hmm. they're the same.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first of all, that's not just idiotic, that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Because because he's framing them as domestic terrorists. And
what does he want to do with terrorists?
See, now that's where that's probably where the scary part comes in. So he was being interviewed on the Blaze Network, Glenn Beck's Blaze Network, and he had some things to say about suspected terrorists, and not just suspected terrorists, sympathizers of ISIS, or of whatever terrorist group out there. Usually he talks about ISIS, about mm-hmm. radical Islamic terrorism, stuff like that. But he was saying that habeas corpus should be suspended, and they should just be locked up. Where? Guantanamo Bay. They should be locked up mm-hmm. at Guantanamo Bay indefinitely.
Wait. Am I correct when you said terrorist sympathizers?
Sympathizers, not actually just people that you think are going to carry out a terrorist attack.
And he's supposed to be head
of the Homeland Security.
Okay, Homeland. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me read you part of the interview. He said, "I suggest that our commander-in-chief ought to utilize Article 1, Section 9 and take all of these individuals that are suspected, these ones on the internet spewing jihadi rhetoric, to scoop them up, charge them with treason, and under habeas corpus, detain them indefinitely at Gitmo. We have no idea how many people out there have pledged allegiance or are supporting ISIS, given aid and comfort, but I would suggest hundreds of thousands. I would suggest maybe 1 million.
He just pulled that number out of his ass. But anyway, 1 million. But still, as head of Homeland Security, he's not going to just be in charge of looking at foreign, mm-hmm. Possible foreign terrorists, but domestic terrorists too. Right. So again, like his definition of terrorism or terrorist is Black Lives Matter, right?
Yeah, it's very broad.
It's very broad.
Yeah. So
if anybody sympathizes with, let's say, Black Lives Matter, are they going to be taken away
and shipped to Gitmo?
And shipped to Gitmo?
This is a little bit more to what he said in that interview as well. He said, "You take the known terrorists that are here, and you think we're going to arrest all these people and put them in jails and then sentence them to prison? It's idiotic. Take them to Gitmo and hold them indefinitely under a suspension of habeas corpus. We're at war. This is a time of war. Bold and aggressive action is needed."
Like, you think he's just going to apply that to ISIS, especially with what he said? You know what I'm saying? With the things he says?
Exactly.
And
he talks about Black Lives Matter all the time. So he's not just going to apply it to ISIS.
Yeah,
and even if he did, he just...
It doesn't matter.
He said ISIS and Black Lives Matter are going to be one and the same. This dude is crazy.
And see, the thing is, I thought that one of Trump's focuses in his campaign was lessening foreign involvement with a Homeland, like a Homeland, somebody like this at the head of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Like, you think there's going to be less foreign involvement?
No, he wants to drum up this. He wants to really get engaged in this war on Islam.
And a million people, not just terrorists, but sympathizers. How much is that going to bloat the budget? How much is that going to bloat the budget?
Not enough, because it can't be bloated enough.
Yeah. Not only
military spending has to be high as well. I mean, there's no cap on it.
Yeah, and isn't that going to make us targets too?
Of course,
it's going to stimulate perpetual warfare.
Yeah, and not and not just targets of coming from other countries or from Muslim people. I would gather we would be targeted from right here in America too, because a lot of these people are going to be Americans, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So check this out. If we create like terrorists, because there's animosity built up,
right, because
their nations have been destroyed. Okay, wouldn't the same kind of animosity be created if like citizens here started being classified as terrorists,
right,
and scooped up?
Right.
Wouldn't that create that same animosity to, you know what I'm saying?
This is why you don't want this guy as the head of the Homeland Security.
Exactly, and the whole suspending habeas corpus thing.
Oh my God! So pretty much, this guy is saying that I can violate the Constitution.
No, because they're the good guys.
Oh,
they're the good guys.
So if they do it for a just reason, it's okay to rip it to shreds and disregard it.
It's like they're always trying to create victims out of themselves. Like, talking about how, the liberals are going to take this and take that away from us and take our freedoms and do whatever. Right. But they're the ones who are doing that.
Yeah.
But see, they don't see it because that's how authoritarians are. When everybody else is doing it, it's unconstitutional. They're the dictators. But when they do it because they're the good guys, no, it's fine because we're the good guys. They're constitutionalists.
They're constitutionalists. But so they want to preserve the Constitution when it's under attack. But when they attack it, it's okay
because they have the moral high ground. They're the good guys. They're the good guys. Remember.
Okay. All right.
So they're not doing it in the name of authoritarianism. They're just doing it in the name of some sort of like moral high ground that they have. You know what I'm saying?
So potentially putting 1 million people in Gitmo indefinitely, people that are possible suspected terrorists or maybe just sympathizers.
That's patriotic.
They're the good guys.